Hundreds of people are spending this Saturday here in the park. Take a look at this crowd. Sinkholes like this one have opened up all over the neighborhood. We want to give you a live look now at all the damage it has caused. As you can see, this minivan is just demolished, and you can't even see the front door from this side of the house. Giving you a live look now here at the scene. Just a few moments ago, one of the bodies was removed from the home. Family members began wailing. One of them fell to the ground. One of them tried to get closer to the scene but was stopped by police. Obviously, a lot of people out here, as you can see. Again, no new information is being released at this time and no arrests so far, but as soon as we have any new updates, we'll bring them to you right here on Bay News 9. Veronica.
Wow.
By next school year, the goal is for all middle school students to be using the iPad instead of pencil and paper. Very scary afternoon for people in this Walgreens parking lot when the murder-suicide happened, and investigators say it all started before the couple even arrived here at the Walgreens. Witnesses say it was very scary, but amazingly there are no injuries tonight after an Amtrak train collided with this tractor trailer. Mosley Motel residents came to City Hall today decked out in these t-shirts. They're inside right now pleading with the board to keep the motel open, but they are facing a lot of opposition from St. Petersburg police officers who say they've responded to the motel hundreds of times in recent years. Albany hopes playing on the football team will encourage other women to consider male sports.
Bay News 9's Kristy Wolski has his first TV interview and explains how the power of forgiveness is helping his family move forward. It is a story you'll only see here on Bay News 9.
We have no regrets. We told her we loved her every day of her life. We kissed her every day of her life. We hugged her every day of her life.
Not a day goes by Tim Kelly doesn't think about his daughter, Hannah Grace. On February 12th, an unimaginable tragedy happened at Grace Connection Church, where Kelly is the pastor.
I don't know why God allowed this to happen. I may not know this side of eternity, but I do know some things. I know that God is good, and God doesn't waste pain.
Church member Moises Zambrana and Hannah's boyfriend were looking at a gun after the service. They thought it wasn't loaded, but when the trigger was pulled, a bullet tore through a wall, striking Hannah. For a week, she was in the ICU, and loved ones turned to prayer.
It'd be 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. It didn't matter. There'd be people in that room, and every half hour they would get up and pray for my Hannah Grace.
On February 18th, Hannah took her final breath. Days later, hundreds packed a church to say goodbye. For some parents, forgiving would be impossible. For the Kelly family, it was an easy choice.
And I know that if I asked Hannah today, what would you like to happen to the Zambranos, she would say, I just hope they get blessed, and that nobody holds us against them.
Now Kelly hopes Hannah's life will inspire others to make changes.
I want to see marriages get better and parents reconciled to kids that were estranged. I want people that in churches that have been warring with one another to be reconciled.
Although the pain of the tragedy will never truly fade, for now, Kelly is waiting for the day they meet again.
And she's very much alive. We believe truly alive in heaven, and she's very much alive in our hearts.
Kylie Griggs is 3 years old, but she's never walked, crawled, or even sat up on her own. She has cerebral palsy. Several months ago, Kylie's parents, Jason and Lori, entered her in an online contest called You Promise to Dream.
Good girl, all the way down.
The dream they have for Kylie, simply that she'll someday walk.
Her brains are there, she's so smart, you know, and we just need her feet to work so she can take that intelligence wherever she goes.
We told you about the online contest here on Bay News 9, and with the help of you, our viewers, and the Griggs family and friends, Kylie won by a landslide.
All the way up, finish it.
The prize, $10,000, is now paying for a special type of therapy called intensive TheraSuit. The suit Kylie's wearing helps properly align her body and support weak muscles.
And it's really a strength-based training program based on repetition. It allows the central nervous system to adapt and to learn new motor movements.
Kylie will continue coming for several weeks, perhaps months. Though she has a long way to go, her parents can't wait to see where the therapy will take her.
Being here and seeing our dreams realized, that we're able to now finally have the funds to pay for this therapy, and she's doing incredible in there, so we're so excited.
Bend, 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 bend.
When Kylie finally takes her first steps on her own, it will in fact be a dream come true for her family.
Is that fun?
In Largo, Kristy Wolski, Bay News 9. There are a number of roads closed in Hernando County, specifically here in Spring Hill today, because sinkholes like this one have opened up all over the neighborhood. What used to be George Reyes's backyard is now a giant sinkhole. Overnight, the storm caused this huge portion of land to open up.
We have a motorhome almost fell in a hole, like the whole back fence of ours is just in the hole. We're scared. I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up big hole in the yard, what can you say?
This isn't the only problem area at the Reyes house. Another sinkhole swallowed part of the front yard too.
And I've heard of them and stuff like that, but never seen anything like this before.
Sunday night, resident Jeremy Villa was driving through the neighborhood when this sinkhole opened up right under his truck.
We went out to go check out the storm and everything, and all of a sudden, as we drove right over this, the back of my truck actually went down a little bit, and we realized there was a sinkhole. If it was probably a few seconds later, my whole truck could have been inside that hole.
Despite the sinking situation, residents like Reyes aren't letting it bring their spirits down. It's only the beginning of storm season, and who knows what's to come. And drivers are being detoured throughout the neighborhood to avoid these problem spots. We're told the roads will remain closed until repairs can be made. Veronica? The first day of school was all fun and games as the 6th grade students received their iPads for the very first time. Now, it's all about learning.
0.7 plus.
In Christine Barrett's math class, students are solving problems on the iPad without any pencil or paper. It's a far cry from how most of us learned math, but for this generation, it's normal.
These kids live off of technology, and so it's nice to be able to connect what they do at home and then bring it into school. And they're teaching me things that I didn't know, so it's exciting.
By next school year, the goal is for all middle school students to be using the iPad instead of pencil and paper. With the early success, it looks like the school's right on track. Getting used to the process was a little challenging at first, but now the 6th graders say it's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
It's like a fun way of learning. Instead of like paper and pencil and writing everything, we get to like touch the iPad and like use apps and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot more fun to learn.
On the SmartNote app, students have a spiral notebook for each subject, and they're able to forward the notes to email so they can access them from home. Not only is it efficient,
it makes the load a lot lighter to just carry around an iPad everywhere instead of carrying around tons of notebooks.
The iPads may be light, but they're no lightweight when it comes to education. In Dunedin, Kristy Wolski, Bay News 9.